still here in Anaga, hunting for xenoliths, for nodules from the depth, brought up in some of the dikes, and out there we have the tooth of Anaga. It's an old phonolite block that stands out, and the waves have eroded the softer material surrounding this plug, and therefore it stands proud there. And there's actually, I don't know, you can probably not see it, but in the top left corner there's a little tree growing out of things, and oops, it's not focusing very well. There's a tree growing out of things, so it's standing free. It's quite impressive, but maybe that's not so visible right now from the distance. And the real reason is, as I said, the nodules. And here's one of the dikes. This is a dike that was discovered by my colleagues from Lund and by Ulf and Anders. And here we have some nice inclusions. And the dike is part of the old Anaga series here. And there is some black plutonic inclusions. And there's a few more. And this is pyroxene and also a bit of amphibole. And here's one that's a bit more mixed. There's a bit more feldspar in there. This is more gabbroic. So here we have pyroxene and feldspar and probably a bit of amphibole as well. The amphibole is intriguing because the early eruptives on La Palma had some amphibole, and it seems to come from the 15-kilometer depth level just under the island. So it seems to me that amphibole, being a hydrous mineral, forms when crystallization is continuing in these underplating zones, and then because of the crystallization, the water content in the remaining magma rises to a point where we actually have some hydrous minerals growing. And the intriguing thing is that the outcrop continues here on the other side of the road, and I'll just walk over here. And there we have more of those inclusions. So here I'll zoom into this one here. So this is broken up, and it's got a few white specks in there, but mostly it's dark. So I guess very pyroxene rich. Here's another one. And there's another dike right next to it. And that's even more intriguing because it's packed full with these inclusions. This is just mind-blowing, this situation here. And there's some really enormous ones. So I'll put my foot there so that you get a sense of the size of this. This is, well, a pyroxenite, I guess. And here we have a massive amount of these inclusions. It's really mind-blowing. So looking here, for example, so this is a broken up cumulate zone from depth, and a pluton under the island. And these dikes have brought up these materials, and therefore allowing us to study what's going on under the islands and get a sense of the processes that are occurring at depth, and what is actually causing different changes in the magma compositions. And we can of course ask the question, does this answer the question of the variety of magmas we see at the surface, or is there additional processes required? And this is something that our master student, Patricia, she will study these xenoliths now. She's here sampling, hammering away at a different place of the outcrop, and she has already found different types of amphiboles, and this is going to be very, very interesting. So we took a few samples here in January during a reconnaissance visit, and now we're back to do a little bit more detailed work. So I'm gonna show the big chap here again, because I'm really kind of taken by it. And yeah, there's a few more big ones down here, for instance. And I hope you like these impressions. There's also a big one here. It's just very thin, it's not well exposed, but yeah, here we have it. So I hope you get a sense of this outcrop and messages from depth from under the island, from the plutonic zone under the island. That's where the island is actually growing due to intrusion of magma that is then pushing the island up. We have learned in El Hierro, during the El Hierro eruption, that the island was pushed up more than material was actually added. So there's a good sense that islands are growing at least 50% just by the intrusion of magma under the island, and potentially even more, I think. So last look out there onto the sea. with a tooth of Anaga in the far distance. Thank you very much, and I'll report back a little later once we've completed our sampling here.